Hey everyone, today we're going to try, or maybe just play Olive, Aware, Abnormal Weapons, Assessment, Repurpose, and Exterminate. That's a mouthful. I think this might be the kind of thing we just go finish in one go, but let's see. Chapter 1, Special Delivery. Damn, that lighting. Well, he's fast. That's some very strong imagery to open on. 1352. Is that the time or something else? Like steps or something. With a ring in his ears, the man opened his eyes. Even with vertigo, imbalance, and dry mouth, he could have managed. Yet the numbness spreading through his body left him restless. Not to mention the chills, as if his insides were stirring up cold waves. These symptoms were long past the point where they could be alleviated by simply resting. Giving up on trying to sleep, the man sat up on the edge of the bed. Man's an interesting word choice. Kinda looks like a German Shepherd. The time of year was in the middle of summer, and the scorching sunlight seemed almost burned through the floor. The bright but not blinding afternoon sight made him look a little lost in thought. Reorganizing equipment, looking into clues, buying supplies, he had countless to-dos swirling in his head. Listing them, ranking by urgency, then adjusting for the situation. This was to set up a straightforward plan, but before he could even take a breath, a knock at the door interrupted his thoughts. Ooh, the eye glow. There were 3 knocks, spaced a few seconds apart. Echoed in the empty room, as if following a certain rule. The man grabbed the gun at the bed's end and glanced at the clip in summer light. He then arose and headed for the front door. The knock at the door echoed in the man's mind, igniting snowflakes of light. Like a TV showing snow after picking up stray signals. Despite the noise, he still matched the rhythm, allowing his footsteps to merge with it. It's worth mentioning that this is translated. Using the pause after a set, the man quickly stepped in front of the door. Holding the gun's muzzle to the door and lightly touching it with his fingertips. He felt the vibrations of the knocks to find where they were coming from. Positioning the gun to aim directly at the person knocking from almost no distance away. A 40mm thick galvanized steel plate divided the inside from the outside. Such thickness was enough to resist the breakthrough of normal weapons. But for the specially designed weapon in the man's hand, the projectiles that were sold are as armor-piercing. Penetrating would only mean a slightly louder noise. And then he didn't shoot him, after all that setup. Those are extremely long ears. He's funny looking. The super macho character having extremely long, dorky ears is extremely furry. Delivered? To this place? With the sharp screech of hinges, the man swung the door open. Its half-open angle falling through a cramped gap that even the sun couldn't penetrate, perfectly hid the pistol's trail. Not what was expected. There was a boy standing outside, clutching a worn tablet, dressed in a loose employee uniform, and topped with vivid red hair. He seemed taken aback by the slow, opening door. Pulling his hand back, he now rested it behind his head, offering an awkward, simple smile. His gaze fixed on the man behind the door, as if words were on the tip of his tongue, but hadn't spoken them yet. Seeing this, the man broke the silence first. What is it? Noticing the surprise and obscure enthusiasm in the boy's eyes, the man gripped the gun in his hand tighter. Yes. Excuse me. After hearing the question, the boy answered as if he had just snapped out of a dream. You are Mr. Theseus, right? Zaman Theseus? You got a package. Is it Theseus? The ship of Theseus? I think that's how it's pronounced, yeah. A package? What package? The man, called by his full name, felt confused about that. He had already sized up the young man in front of him. Clearly he had neither weapons nor a package with him. I apologize for the delay. You see, because I couldn't reach you. So I went ahead and signed for it. Please, where is it? Zaman cut off his words with a direct question. The young man kept up his awkward smile and, with a sideways glance down the corridor, spoke. Well, about that. As I was bringing it up, it got stuck. Stuck? Yes, during the move, I accidentally... You'll see if you step out. You're so ready to step. You ready to step outside in your underwear and gun? What a situation to be in. The man, gun in hand behind the door, had actually considered this very scenario. To avoid a direct confrontation, luring him into an open area for a sniper attack was the simplest plan to execute. And cost-effective. But did they think a stuck package excuse would coax him out? Wasn't that taking him too lightly? Or was he making too much out of it? Zaman pondered this, his thoughts muddled and causing him unexplained restlessness. I'm sorry. It's all my fault it got stuck. I'll compensate you for any damage at its value. Seeing the young man's guilty face, the man felt assured it wasn't mere pretense. Since finding this place, he had probably just became an unwitting bait. Given Zaman's negligent effort to cover his tracks, it was no surprise someone was spying on him. Likely, agents from the company were nearby. Maybe it was time to make the first move. Shooting the boy in a non-vital part and then dragging him to safely place might be a viable strategy in the situation. Targeting the shoulder or a leg would be sufficient. Unaware what the man in front of him was considering, the young man timidly kept explaining in a quiet way. The sender had given specific instructions, saying it was very valuable, and it had to be delivered to you quickly. I was anxious, and there was a bit of an accident on the way, so it got stuck. Please don't file a complaint. Zaman also caught the boy's low self-mutterings. He used his finger off the trigger, steadied himself, and calmly asked the question. Who sent it? It's... The young man paused, his eyes lifting as if digging up a detail from his memory before quickly responding. Mochi Daedalus. These are names. Daedalus and Theseus. Daedalus. Is the package a large box? I would assume so. It's stuck and it's a package. Yes, a wooden one, about 60 inches. Shit, forget about that guy. Forgot about that guy. Feeling a headache coming on, Zaman rubbed his temples. Where did it get stuck? What? On the fence? How did it get up? What? On which fence? Just the one by the entrance, where fence has a gap. The gap on the fence. Why don't I remember that? Please wait a moment. I'll think of another way. Whether it's using a pole to poke or a rope to pull, I'll get it down. And if that doesn't work, I'll call for help. No need. After giving a short and concise refusal, the man left the half-open door behind and went back inside. Thinking he messed up the talk and was about to get in trouble, the boy panicked right away. But before he could think of what to do next, he heard the creak of rusty hinges. Looking up, the fire door had fully opened and Zaman Theseus, with him standing there. Oh, it went on its own. He, wearing a sleeveless training vest that showed off his muscles, stood with arms crossed, spoke in a no-nonsense manner. I'll move it myself. You could probably do with another translation, but oh well. Don't mess with him, was the boy's instinctive reaction upon facing the man directly. The shapewear, with its faded color based in orange stripes, clung to his muscular build. Along with the support band under Jamin's jaw, they outlined his strong build. The tall height forced the young man to look up. And in doing so, he directly met the man's downward gaze, brimming with wariness, as if Zaman was ready to see him as a threat at any moment. Had the man remained bare-chested as earlier, the young man might have instinctively run for his life. Regrettably, his view had been obstructed at that time, preventing him from experiencing the visual shock of the difference now. Yet, this did not hinder the boy from feeling envious. If only he could have a body like that. You have to lead me there. Sure. It's right over here. Watching the boy rush towards the stairs, Jamin felt an inexplicable sense of gloom. But he silently followed him, heading towards the open area. What was that sound? Connection successful. Adaptation in progress. Ooh. Oh, maybe we'll get sniped. Is this what you call a gap? Oh. Oh, you can look around. You can also see the outside past the frame. How did you do that? Do I click on it? Do I do... What? Target in sight. Engaging with unidentified individual. I think I just took a picture. Red hair, male, around 18 years old. Identity unknown. Presumed delivery boy, to be confirmed. Alright. The target's outing was to retrieve some kind of supplies. The container is wooden. It's a plywood box, approximately 58.5 inches, approximately 1.5 meters in length, and about 1 meter in width and height. What? If you're giving 3 dimensions of the measurements here, then what's the point of this first measurement? Currently it is hanging on the wire fence, with the courier attempting to retrieve it. Something unknown has occurred. I thought he was gonna help. He's just watching him. That's enough, let me take over. Or that's probably him. That's enough, let me take over. No, this is my responsibility. How did he get it to the fence in the first place? I don't understand. The target is poised to return indoors, having been outside for approximately 10 minutes. Owing to limitations in angle and distance, only 3 photos of the target were successfully captured. Further tracking and investigation of the red-haired youth will be undertaken to acquire additional information. If deemed necessary, he will be detained for interrogation. End of report. So are we following the guy that killed everyone in the intro? Sorry, I've made you wait so long. Your package has been delivered. There's like a frame on the edge of the screen where the screen kind of repeats but zoomed in. Okay, got it. Thanks, I guess. Also, please, you say... Catch your breath first. Pay attention to the rhythm. Observing the boy panting heavily, almost to the point of passing out, the man couldn't help but offer a few more words of advice. He realized he couldn't shake the boy's resolve to see things through the end. Hoping the boy would leave soon, Ch1 reluctantly agreed to his wishes, letting him carry the box alone. On a closer look, Ch1 realized there was something wrong with the boy's physical state. He seemed to push himself hard in exercise. Not overly muscular, but efficient with his strength. However, his technique was all wrong. Continuing this way would probably... Thank you, I'm fine. Okay. But then what did that have to do with him? The man sighed to himself. He recalled the sight that he had just felt outside and feared it was a scout. This meant another task for him to handle. Plus, there was the matter with the box. Things were becoming quite a hassle. You're all set here. Head back now. Wait, please! The boy had long noticed the man's unwelcoming attitude, but didn't mind. It was his job. Completing it successfully was all that mattered to him. Please, sign for it? I thought you signed for it already. On the phone. Noticing the man seemed unwilling, the boy quickly added, I can do it for you. It's related to how well I do at my job. Is this your job? I thought you received it on somebody else's behalf, so I thought it wasn't your job. I thought you were a neighbor, but I don't think we're even at an apartment building, so it seems to be a warehouse. Your help really mean a lot. I'm not trying to hassle you, I just don't have a phone. The man wasn't lying. All his communication devices were issued by the company and had been disposed of before his arrival. Eh? Oh, okay. The boy had said he couldn't reach him. He probably tried the throwaway number Ch1 used to call Daedalus. A typical courier would have given up if they couldn't reach the recipient. Then it would only make sense to return the package to the center. Then please sign on the tablet. Where were you keeping that? Yet the boy before him stubbornly tracked down this unlisted address and delivered the package in person. To call it an obsession wouldn't be too much. As he took the tablet, the man thought just that. Just write your initials and agree to the term. I'll take care of the rest. And lastly, I'd appreciate any feedback or suggestions on our service. I don't know why that's multiple windows, honestly. Unless it just was in the original translation. It's not up to me if they listened to the feedback or not. After saying what he was supposed to do, according to the employee manual, the young man finally let out a sigh of relief. Regardless, it was finally coming to a close. Once the man finished signing, he could take his leave. This would ensure he met his monthly goal and got his bonus. After paying off his debts, there'd be enough to cover application fees and living expenses. Now, his sole focus was preparing for the final exam. Oh, fine, wait here. While he was thinking about where to study post-work, he heard Ch1 say this. Is there a split down the middle of the screen too? There's some weird stuff going on with the screen. Then, without a clear reason, Ch1 walked off with the tablet. Excuse me. Why'd he walk away? Actually, the man wasn't far off. It was just that the distance created by the wooden box was enough to make the young man feel uneasy. Could he be thinking of stealing it? If he was serious, I'd be no match. It's just a tablet. If he wants it, he can just have it. With thoughts spiraling out of control, the newfound calm quickly turned to panic. Without thinking, his hands pressed down on the box. In that moment, the young man noticed something unusual. Crack. What? Perhaps getting... Oop. Maybe its rough handling turned... Oh my god, it's going on its own. Okay, so he opened it by accident, basically. The text is going so quickly on its own. He clips the contents inside. Hey, is this okay? Have you signed it already? Yeah. Where do I give you a rating? Huh? The rating. You can do it on your phone. Oh, sorry, I mean... Stay calm, don't panic. The young man struggled to control his voice and expression, but couldn't stop his hands from trembling. They really are doing a bad job at indicating when it's the narration, or when it's a specific person's inner monologue. It kind of keeps doing both. Let me do it for you. It seemed the man hadn't noticed the boy's abnormality. He handed the tablet back quite ordinarily. The boy's fingers slid across the blah blah, suppressing instinctive fear and joy of moving away from danger. No problem to me! He kept speaking. As a result of not watching where he was going, the boy bumped into a sack of wobbly wooden boxes piled against the wall. The sudden sound echoed through the chamber, loud enough to be embarrassing, but for the boy it was an opportunity. To under Jamin's gaze, he turned and walked straight toward the fire door he had come through. You left your ID. Now he's gonna track you down. Mr. Theseus? Just as the boy was about to push the door, leaving everything behind him, he oddly said, it was a pleasure to serve you. Have a wonderful day. Maybe he said it in an odd way, because the things he's saying aren't odd for an employee to do. With a greeting yet to fall, the boy with the red hair vanished through the fire exit. A greeting yet to fall. Some interesting translations going on. If Jamin had worked as a courier, he would have known. It's a line from the employee handbook demanding one of the services to be provided to customers. The tone might be eager, the smile genuine, as if it comes straight from the heart. For a young man who had mastered the trick, it was not difficult. But perhaps because he had devoted all his energy to such matters, he failed to notice that a card bearing his name and photo had slipped from his belt, falling unnoticed into the man's makeshift refuge. Did he see? Jamin wondered to himself. Oop. What is that? A body? Ah, that's what he saw. Oh. Ooh. Wait, that's actually... the style here is actually really cool. Having his eye open for just a split second and then it cut to credits. That was wild. I don't know how good the writing is in Chinese, but here it's like... it's a little iffy. Alright, time to make a getaway. Staying here just feels uneasy. Come to think of it, it's a pity I didn't catch his nude shot. What the fuck? That's the thought you're having right now? What? Oh. Whoops. Oh, you're back. Nude shot, was it? Caught anything good? You said that out loud? Why would you say that out loud? Oh my god, you fool.